here this morning at North Carolina State University. Really excited to share at their conference today, focusing really on engaging minority student athletes. And it's been a dream of mine to go around and talk about these issues, bring the light to the real story of what's going on today. And guys, I'm consistently putting myself in position to be noticed by the right people. If there's one thing I can encourage you to do, don't complain about not having the opportunity. Be ready when it comes. The age-old saying goes, the teacher will arrive when the student is ready. Guys, go ahead and get ready today. Passionate about your why, and this is why I'm here. I care about student athletes. I want to see them developed as young men and women. I know what I'm doing. I'm competent at my job. You know, you wouldn't be here if you weren't competent at your job. But a lot of times we struggle with the how. You know, how do I do that? You know, what is a practical way? What's a system to do that? And that's where our conversation is going to lie today. And so what we talk about, it is going to be about innovation. It's going to be about sustainability. It's going to be about collaboration. It might be a little bit different than what you've heard before. And so it might ruffle some feathers in the room, but that's okay. That's where growth happens. Last time I checked, you don't get stronger by bench pressing the exact same weight every single day. You got to put more weight on the bar, consistently adapting and adjusting to the landscape. Really just wanted to give you guys some context on what it means to be a minority student athlete. I know you guys work with them a lot and see them on a day-to-day basis, but I don't think you guys see everything. There's a lot that goes on in the locker room. There's a lot that goes on in between the trenches, you know, outside of the athletic department. It can be an intense just time in your life where one thing that no one really is talking about, and we were in the mental health session this morning, substance abuse, and I will be the first to tell you Adderall addiction is at an all-time high in locker rooms. And it's not because of, you know, they just want to get high. It's because it's so competitive. I need to do anything I can to get this edge because this is all I have. And if I don't have this, then what can I do? Every time a student athlete walks into your room, and granted that was football, and you may think, well, that's just football. That's not the students I work with. Can sometimes what's going on the inside. That level of aggression, that level of intensity, that level of I care so much, and I've been working my whole life for this moment. That can be going on in the inside just as much as the outside. And so just to keep that in context, where I'm a firm believer in context brings clarity. So when a student just doesn't show up or doesn't turn in an assignment or doesn't want to engage, understand fully the triggers, the pressures, the social aspect that plays into who they're becoming right now. And then something I also think we consistently forget about is what does it look like? What does successful engagement look like? What does that feel like? You know, how can you make that real to the other administrators on your team? One of the biggest issues in the country, actually, that no one, again, is really talking about is underemployment. And so what underemployment is when college graduates are in jobs that do not require a college degree. So you now have a degree, you made it, you did everything your advisor told you to do, but you're now working an hourly wage job that does not require a degree. And as of 2017, 44% of young professionals ages 22 to 27, 44% are underemployed. And that's coming from where's that coming? Forbes magazine ran a study on that, and I was shocked, and I'm like, wow. And so that tells me there's a significant gap there. Ran a study on the state of North Carolina. This came actually from NC State University. By 2040, and while that number might not be impactful to you, that is the prime earning years of the students you're serving. 2.4 million jobs are going to be lost due to automation. And one quote from Carl Fish, I loved his book, Shift Happens, loved it. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist, to use technologies that haven't been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet. Guys, 10 years ago, the iPhone didn't exist. Now there's iPhone X. Now there's augmented reality, all these different things. That was 10 years ago. So how are we preparing students to live in this futuristic world? If you do not build a foundation of trust, none of what I'm about to say really matters. Trust is about timing, and trust is about positioning. For one, trust takes time. Might not happen in the first 6 months. It might not. It might be, you know, you hitting the wall. But if you position yourself, and I mean that in two ways. Number one, positioning your heart to be open to listening to the stories of the students you serve, to putting yourself in position. If you know they're eating lunch together in the dining hall, why not go eat lunch with them? I truly believe when you have that foundation of trust, then a question of, hey, I need you to go to English 201. It's a different conversation than this is what you need to do. Building a relevant brand, incredibly, incredibly important. Number one way to engage students is to meet them where they're at. If you're not auditing your social media accounts for the university or student athlete development, whatever it may be, I think you're missing a window of opportunity. Oh man, I'm so passionate about this. Wish I had more time, but I really believe it's a talent game. And what I mean by that is you might not necessarily need more staff. You might not need more people, just investing in those who are already involved. I'm in the field because I choose to be in the field. I'm in the field, because I'm calling student athletes. I'm seeing what's going on. I leverage and I maximize every single opportunity that's given to me. Where I think about, today I have an opportunity to speak at NC State, but I'm making sure I'm documenting all this stuff. I'm being transparent. I'm letting you know my process because I want people to see that. I want people to see that this isn't just a show to me. This is my lifestyle. I woke up at 3:45 this morning, got on the road from Charlotte, North Carolina, made it here to Raleigh so I could get here early so we could document this. That's what it's really about. If you really want to know the grind, that's the grind right there. It's not necessarily me just speaking. That's the little snippet that you guys see. But the real grind is when the NFL draft's on and I'm reviewing my slides. The real grind is when that alarm goes off and I'm like, I gotta get going. That's it. That's the grind. It's more so the sacrifice associated with it.
From the event today, as the speaker, Jarrod, he was an amazing speaker, very, very intuitive about the knowledge that he was presenting to the people here. We learned about holistic approaches. We learned about different approaches to make sure that the student athlete is successful and make sure that he's matriculating and attaining to the level that he needs to at the need of the student athlete. And that's one thing that we kind of miss within our endeavors in making our student athletes successful, is understanding who they are as a student athlete and what type of approaches that we need to take to make them the best student athlete that there can be.
And I think one of the biggest things that I learned out of this was being able to build trust with the population you're working with and kind of meet them halfway and just get that relationship with them going.
I enjoyed it because it reinforced the work that we do at North Carolina Central, and also maybe creating some more partnerships where we're not the only institution that may have to continue to do some more collaboration with student campus partners, and showing that not only are they student athletes, but they're students that we want them to strive and to soar and become productive citizens once they graduate.